our guest, Professor Adikwu Umale. He's a Nigerian academic and pharmacist. He completed his secondary education in 1981 as overall best student at the Federal Government College in Jos, Nigeria. He obtained a Bachelor of Pharmacy degree at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, in 1986, a master's degree in 1989, and a doctorate in 1994 from the same university. By 1998, he became a professor of pharmaceutics. He served as the head of the department in the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences in UNN from 1995 to 1998, and from 2002 to 2004. He served as Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja from 2014 to 2019. He was a visiting professor at the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences at the University of Manchester. He has won many academic grants and honors in the course of his career, including the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation Fellowships in Germany, the Matsumai International Foundation Fellowship in Japan, Royal Society of Chemistry of Great Britain, the Third World Academy of Sciences, the International Foundation for Science in Sweden, the Nigerian Science Prize, to mention a few. Professor Adikwu communicates in English, in French, in German, and in Japanese. He has published over 260 journal papers, attended over 150 conferences, written 35 books and chapters in books. And in 2003 and 2004, he went through the Minister's Leadership Refresher Training Millet in Peace House, Boko. He's happily married to Dr. Mrs. Victoria Adikwu. They are blessed with 6 children and reside in Otukpo, Benue State. We're privileged to have him here today as he joins us from Abuja, Nigeria. You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
The prof, it's so powerful to to read through all your bios. We want to know how early, because I know with all these stories we saw that we were born again, and I want to know how early and how were you actually born again. We want to know. Prof, over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, the story of my life has been very interesting. I was a village boy in those days. And being a village boy, we attended a school, primary school that was very far away. And that was where my interest in Christianity started. When they say we should come for baptism, I will take for over 20 kilometers alone. And then we'll go for the training, And with that, I developed interest in the things of God. So by 1975, I began to experience God at a very difficult, a very strange level. I found out that I used to have dreams, and most of them would tell me what I should follow next. In fact, everything I've achieved in life, it's either God told me directly myself, or 2 other people or 3 people will come and tell me this is what God is saying, and I say, okay, I wait for it. So you find out that by that 1975, I became born again. I began to experience God. Sometimes I would get dreams that God will send me to somebody and I will be afraid to go and tell the person. And because I was very young, when I got to secondary school, these experiences multiplied at various levels, and I kept following through. Sometimes I could just watch something, and God will show me the meaning of it. In fact, when you were reading the sister was talking about my biodata, I was just going one day when I was an Alexander von Humboldt Fellow in Germany. I was just going to the lab one day and I saw some slugs. Slugs are like snails. They all belong to the group of, if you did biology, what they call the gastropods. In fact, they call them gastropoda. So, and I had that intuition that this thing has very serious biochemical properties. And I say, This must be very serious. That is why they are able, that is raw meat crawling on the earth. That's how they are able to survive without getting rotten. They must have antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, and all those trash. So that interested me. So I want to, in order not to take your time, I want to say that if I should give a testimony, you will shout, but God's dealing on my life started very early. And unfortunately, it was in an environment where many people did not believe in God. But God sort of singled me out.
That was quite a story, because it appears that it's critical that he got engaged with God so early in life. And he took God serious, and it looks like God took him also very seriously at that tender age. But you were going to say something about the snails, the sloths. So you had a revelation about that, and what did it lead to?
No, with that now, I went on because what I had there was that those things had very serious biochemical properties. That's why it's just like raw meat crawling on the earth and they are not getting rotten. So they must have antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral properties. That led me into research into it later when I came back home from Germany.
Okay.
And I say, I concluded by saying,
what happened to that research?
No, that's research. I had done some part of it here in Nigeria. I now got a Royal Society grant to go and do the rest in Manchester in the UK. And while I was there, they announced that I had won the Nigerian Science Prize and I had to rush back.
Wow.
I had actually concluded saying that, let me stop for now so that I don't take much of your time. Thank you very much.
That part is very important for our young people to hear the possibilities that exist when a life engages God so early. God can take you the distance. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Sunday.
And just to also add that when we talk about giving one's life to Christ, Christ does not just change you just for spiritual things. You can see there that even in research, that's a very good one. So we also want to find out, we saw it with your bio that you attended Millet, and we want to know what impact has this Millet experience had on you, both your career and every other way. I want to know that. Prof.
Okay. Now, I attended Millet 2003.
Wow.
That was, 2003.
Yes.
What set was that, sir?
Millet set 10. Yes. Yes. So that was 2003.
Yeah.
So that very year, the following year, when we were concluding, we finished in 2004.
Yes.
Yes. That's the year I got the grant from the Royal Society of Chemistry of Great Britain. I got another grant from the International Foundation for Science, Sweden. I got another one from the world, by then they used to call it the Third World Academy of Sciences. But now they call it the World Academy, of Sciences. Some people call it the Academy of Science in the Developing World. I got another grant from there. That was what I used to do the research that won the Nigerian Science Prize. So you find that when I came to Millet, I began to see things from a different angle, different from what I used to. Are you getting it now? The perspectives I used to see them. So the Millet was so helpful to me. And with that, in fact, immediately I won the Nigerian Science Prize, they called me to Abuja to come and coordinate a World Bank assisted project. So I was there for 5.5 years, struggling on that project, trying to mop up things. And with that brought a lot of, do I call it fame or whatever? It brought me to the open. Is that okay? Because
so a new person came out of Millet that the world had not seen before.
Yes. So after that, I then became the Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja. So I think the millet had a big touch on my life.
Thank you, sir. How old are you, Prof?
61.
Prof is just 61, and he has achieved much. At what age did you become a professor?
35.
Can you imagine that? In Nigeria, not abroad, within our system here, at 35.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Within this system that slows people down, God could help you to achieve that.
Yeah.
At what age did you become a Vice Chancellor?
I was 50.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? It's good to make the right decisions early in life. It makes a difference. It does make the difference.
Prof, we'll go back to you, and we'd like to know, there's this usual saying that in Nigeria that, nothing goes for nothing, and you've been VC. What went in for you to become VC? What went into that? Yeah, so let's.
Yeah, I think actually I've already spoken about what made me visible. One of the things that is peculiar with me that I'm an introvert. I don't like being introduced here and there, But when God is dealing with you, he wants you to be known. He'll bring you out, whether you like it or not. Are you getting it now? First of all, let me tell you that, in Nigeria, there is some level of tribalism. But I am in the university where I am, is the Igbos that I'm working amongst. Are you getting it now? Having come from Benue, I will not be as accepted as those from that side. And in Nigeria, they believe in parakpo. There's something they call parakpoism, which you all know. You all know very well. Are you getting it now?
Doing groups.
Yeah. So, with all that, you find out that even while you're some people are putting pressure on you to make sure you are not known, God is raising you up. That's how it has happened. I remember before I went to Germany, I was just praying one morning, and the people from my village, there's a polytechnic there, they told me to become the rector. And I was very happy that I was going to be a polytechnic rector. As I was praying, God said, go to Germany, but don't go now. And I was shocked. I said, this is very serious. I should go to Germany, but don't go now. That very day, I think I was traveling. I traveled, and one of my PhD students sent the letter from Germany after I had left. He said he followed me to the car park, but I had already gone. So he sent it to me by telex. In those days, there was no email. In fact, email was just new. That was in the 90s. Email was just coming in. And then I wrote to the man. The man said it like that. The man said, come in July. And this was in January. Just as God said it. So with that, you find out that, before I came to University of Abuja to coordinate a World Bank assistant project, one of our professors was a dean somewhere, and the man called me. There is a university called Madonna University. It's in LL, in Rivers State.
Yes.
The man told me to come and help him to establish a pharmacy school. And while I was there, they called me. I should come to Abuja. I said, is it because I went to establish a pharmacy school in a private university? They are calling me. What's the matter? Carefully, I came. In fact, I was planning to travel to Tanzania because there's something they call TED, Technology, Education, and Design. It's organized by people from the United States. They had invited me to come to Tanzania. So I used that opportunity and came to Abuja. I went to the Ministry of Education, and the permanent secretary just congratulated me. Say, you are our coordinator for World Bank Assistant Project. And that's how I was there from 2007 to 2013. So if God is interested in you, you don't struggle to make yourself known. God himself will do that. That's how my story has been.
So were you the one that applied to become the VC? I know there's an application process. What happened?
During the Vice Chancellor, you know, in those days, there's a university, not university, National Institute for Science Laboratory Technology in Ibadan. They used to do part-time. I used to teach some students in the evenings. So one of my students came and said, have you seen the advert for University of Abuja? I told you, when I was coordinating World Bank assisted project, the minister used to say that university was a washout. So I was not going to apply. But eventually, he said I should bring my CV. So he went and applied for me. So I was not the one that applied. Somebody applied. Somebody applied for me, and eventually, with all the things they did, I was the one that was picked.
Wow.
When I went back to him, he said he was in a community bank trying to get money. And he had God telling him he was going to send Adikwu to Abuja. That was how I was taking.